Here's a real quick shot back at my little campsite. And we might as well pan around and take a look at this beautiful saguaro cactus right here. Gnarled and chewed up and just as strong as can be. Look at this beautiful Palo Verde tree right in the center. Oh my gosh. And we go down around. All right, let's go for a hike. Well, here we go. We're on the trail. This is one of my favorite trails. It's called the Bear Trail. And it's after all the scary grizzly bears out here in the desert. And they are scary. Oh, there's a beautiful sage. Check that out. What a gorgeous plant. Look at this thing. Ain't that crazy? Wow. Of course, it did rain just a few days ago, too. And that's why we have all these tiny little grasses. I'm going to come in and let you take a look at some of those. Look at this here. Beautiful, tiny little grasses everywhere growing here in the desert now that it rained. And when it rains again, we're going to get even more. See this little cacti right here? Isn't that a beautiful little thing? It is a gorgeous, gorgeous specimen. And they have the most wonderful name. That's called the teddy bear cholla cactus. Isn't that lovely? The teddy bear. This is one of the most deadly suckers in the entire desert. You don't want to get closer than we are right now. This is also known as the jumping cholo, because those spines will somehow miraculously jump off of that cactus into your skin and they stick, and it is miserable. Do not mess with this little guy right here. So as I mentioned earlier, we had rain just a few days ago. Look at this saguaro cactus, how it swelled up in the center. It's just got all the moisture it can out of the ground and swelled right up there to hold it. And look at the base of this cactus. Isn't that interesting? And that's a big guy too. I'm looking up probably 15 feet to the top of it. Now here's an interesting bit of rock art. What does this say? Oh, it's a question of what you have under your clothes. How interesting. Let me pan around here a little bit. There's a lot of rock art and different things along the trail. Here's a shot of the trail going on around past that motorhome and out into the desert. So let's take off. Oh, listen to that. Coyotes in the background. Here's a trail sign. These are all along the trail. Some industrious character got these going for us. And it is a bear trail. Now here's a really interesting marker we see along the way. Apparently 3 fellows are no longer here. We hope they're pets. If those are people, those are mighty small graves. I don't know what happened to them, but man, oh man. Anyway, that's just sitting below this beautiful, beautiful ocotillo here that's turned green, but as you can see up on the top, no blossoms yet. When this goes to blossom, the tips of each of these branches will have a beautiful red flower arrangement on it. Just gorgeous. These are quite the plant. That's another desert dweller you don't want to mess with. It's got some thorns that will leave a lasting impression, and little holes too. Okay, check out this bad boy. These are some of my favorite saguaro cactuses, intertwined with this beautiful Palo Verde tree. And up at the very top of this major growth here, the old one, 2 new little arms starting to come out. Isn't that something? Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous plants. And big too. That thing's a good 20 feet tall. Now notice the bottom of the saguaro cactus. You see how the very base seems to be narrow and dried up and eaten up? That's caused from water. When we get a rain here in the desert and the water flows, the water corrodes the base of the cacti, just as saguaros. Check it out. I'll come in close and let you look at this. Check that out. Isn't that something? And then that little tiny base supports that whole huge and very heavy cacti. Now here's another interesting piece. Check this out. More rock art in the desert. This is amazing. Way in the distance you can see I-10 and the trucks running down the freeway. Then there's the community of La Paz in the distance. And about a half a mile from here is I-95 running south. Just look at this. Absolutely spectacular morning in the desert. So glad to have you. Okay, you guys, check this out. This is an arroyo, also known as a wash or a dry riverbed. It doesn't rain very often here in the desert, but when it rains, it doesn't mess around. These dry washes will turn into roaring, raging torrents of water within minutes of the start of the rain, depending on where it is. And sometimes these washes will have flash floods when it doesn't rain here at all. It could be raining in the mountains 5-10 miles from here, and that water will come down this wash off of that mountain like a cow peeing on a flat rock. And I mean to tell you, the water just rolls through here. Let's walk down through the wash here and check it out. You can see that riverbed there. Now there's a lot of rock and there's a lot of material that's been moved. And I'm here to tell you it takes a lot of water running fast to do that. And these rocks are all worn smooth, so it's done it many, many, many times. Beautiful, beautiful place here. Let's hook up the other side and keep going. Ooh, look at the sky today. Check it out. Oh, thank God they aren't doing any geoengineering today. Yeah, right. This is one enormous frickin' cacti. That's at least 2.5, 3 feet around through the trunk right there. Still looking up. It's amazing arms. This cactus is about 35 feet tall and has probably been alive and on Earth longer than the longest living human being to date. Just look at that. What a spectacular sample.